The Air Force Falcons are looking to take flight today against their Service Academy rivals from Army. Both teams are still alive in the race for the coveted CIC trophy that Air Force won last year. All the pageantry and patriotism between these two outstanding service academies takes center stage right now on CBS Sports Network. And we welcome you to Falcon Stadium here in Colorado Springs, the U.S. Air Force Academy, the 52nd all-time meeting between the Black Knights of Army and the Falcons of Air Force. Army comes in 6-2, Air Force 4-4. They have won 3 in a row. Great to see you and be with you. It's a pleasure and an honor. Alongside my broadcast partner, Jay Feely, Lauren Gardner's on the field with us. My name is Ben Holden. And Jay, this Air Force team, they've had the dominant edge in this series in the last few years. Army has not won since 2012. That was at home. They haven't won here, Army, since 2005. And Air Force is great at home their last 21 games, 19-2. Huge opportunity for Army today, though. It certainly is. Air Force has had the edge. We're in for a treat here, Ben. When you look at this Army team, Jeff Monken and his staff, they've been building for 4 years. Everything they've done has led up to today, this moment. They beat Navy, they get to a bowl game, get a win. But the one thing they haven't done, beat Air Force. If they're going to do it, today is the day they have to do it. Yes, indeed. It has eluded Jeff Monken in his tenure now in his 4th season. His quarterback, Ahmad Bradshaw, he is the clear-cut leader of this team, Jay. He's a senior. He hasn't beaten Air Force, but he's done some incredibly good things this year. The things he's done best, not only run the ball and run it effectively, but not turn the ball over, make good decisions, understanding Brent Davis's offense, knowing where to go to the ball, getting it to his playmakers, physical, tough runner. He's got explosive ability. He is the kind of guy that Brent Davis is comfortable with leading his offense. 7 touchdowns on the year, second on the team only to Darnell Woolfolk. And on the other side, it was a year ago this weekend, Jay, that we saw Arion Worthman make his first career start at Michie Stadium. And he played really well, led them to victories, continued to progress. He throws the ball better than Bradshaw. He's got a little more speed. The one thing he's done, he's fumbled 13 times, can't afford to do that today. Keep our eyes on that. It'll be a big key for both these teams. Third member of our team, Lauren Gardner. She's down in all the excitement field level with more on the matchup. Lauren. Yeah, guys, an amazing atmosphere here pre-game down on the field. And the Army secondary is going to have some additional help here today with sophomore corner Elijah Riley making his season debut. Meanwhile, senior safety Ryan Eaglin will be back after missing 5 games due to a PCL injury. Now, he told us yesterday that he feels 100% and that he learned a lot in his time away, not only in patience, but in trusting his teammates. He told us that he found out that these guys who had to step up and play for him are capable of getting the job done. Meanwhile, our defensive coordinator, Jay Bateman, said that the vocal leader is absolutely invaluable to this Army defense. Did you guys hear that flyover? It's amazing. Yes, we did. Part of the pageantry and patriotism, a B-1 Lancer from Dyess, Texas, going overhead before in the 52nd all-time meeting. What a beautiful sight here in Colorado Springs. Air Force has won 18 of the last 20 meetings in this series. Beautiful day in terms of the sun and the temp, Jay, but the wind will likely be a factor. It certainly will. Not only in the kicking game, where it's certainly going to have an impact, but also throwing the ball, something Air Force does more than Army, so you could see it have an impact. So Air Force won the toss. They defer. You see the Falcons in their blue, Army in the white uniforms on the road. Strabel boots it in and almost out of the end zone, as it was Kel Walker back there hoping to get a chance at a kick return, but he won't this time. Our Chick-fil-A lineups, those come to you now. And we talk more about Ahmad Bradshaw, Jay, and this is his time to shine. We met with both the teams this week. We met with Army last night, and Bradshaw, and talking to him, you could just see and feel the excitement. Not only the excitement, but understanding that as seniors, this game means so much to them. The fact that they have not beaten Air Force, the desire to do that from the staff down to every player, this game means so much to both of these teams. The numbers on Bradshaw from the 25-yard line. Army goes to work. 6 wins on the year. Jack Floor in there, first to greet the Army ball carrier. And we continue on with our Chick-fil-A lineups. Jay, who do you highlight from the Army offense?
Well, you're starting right in the middle, the fullback position. Darnell Woolfolk, you're going to see 4 different fullbacks, but Woolfolk has been the workhorse when healthy. 6.1 average, 8 touchdowns, leads the team. The difference between these two triple options, Army gives it to the fullback a lot more because of the depth they have. It allows them to stay healthier. It allows them to be fresh longer in games.
In that fullback spot, they have gotten so much experience. Some guys injured, including Darnell Woolfolk. It has helped them build that depth, and this is Bradshaw breaking through. Ahmad Bradshaw and Air Force territory. He'll be forced out inside the 25-yard line. Bradshaw with a huge run, a first down run for the Army captain.
Watch this hole that develops right here. An excellent job. He's going to follow the fullback. Look at the hole develop. Good blocking right there, and Bradshaw gets through free. And for Air Force, you can't allow that. That's exactly what happened against Navy. Gave up 471 yards rushing to Navy.
Ahmad Bradshaw with a 48-yard pickup to get Army on the edge of the red zone. We go back to our Chick-fil-A lineups, and Jay, we look at the Air Force defense. Who do you like there today?
Grant Ross, the captain, the only returning starter on this defense. He had 12 tackles against Navy. They're going to need an effort like that again today if this Air Force team is going to contain this triple option and have an opportunity to win the game.
The only returning starter on their defense came into the ball game with 183 career tackles, 14 TFLs, tackles for loss, and 4 sacks on 2nd and 8. Bradshaw out of the gun. It's Cal Walker. Not much there. Good job. That front of Air Force has played really well, according to Steve Russ, their defensive coordinator.
Something you and I have seen in all of the Army games that we've watched this year, different than years past, going into the shotgun, putting Cal Walker back there, giving him the ball, running zone reads with him. Different type of blocking scheme, but that offensive line has picked it up, and they've been really effective with it.
So a 3rd and 7 here. Can Air Force hold here on this 3rd down? What Army's done on 3rd down, a touch over 47.5% this season. Woolfolk behind Bradshaw. Bradshaw, he's going to keep it. Bradshaw's got a block. Ahmad Bradshaw took it in. Touchdown, Army. A 21-yard run, Jay.
Ahmad Bradshaw taking this game, putting it in his own hands, told us last night how much this meant to him. The fact that they haven't beat Air Force, you can see the ball come out, but he's already crossed the goal line. It's a touchdown, and what a start for Army and quarterback Ahmad Bradshaw.
Just how the Black Knights drew it up. Zach Potter will hold. Blake Wilson will try to make it 7-0. And Blake Wilson has been great with Potter holding. Bradshaw 2 runs, 69 yards, Jay, on that drive for the first touchdown of the game.
Couldn't have drawn it up any better for Jeff Monken and Brent Davis, the offensive coordinator for Army. Giving it to Bradshaw, trusting your senior quarterback, burst into the 2nd level, picking up big chunks of yardage.
That was the 48-yard run. Bradshaw would then cap it off right here with this touchdown. Army's up early. So a very quick march for Army to begin this game. 5 plays, 75 yards. Took them only 2:39, Jay, as we look back at the touchdown or a key play on the drive.
One of the big advantages, I think, for Army is the offensive line. Mike Houghton, number 70, watch this excellent block right here, getting a seal block, then creating a wall down blocking, allowing Bradshaw to get through, hit the 2nd level, then he makes a nice move to the outside, gets into the end zone. That's trouble for Steve Russ, D coordinator for Air Force. He's got to find a way to get the ball stopped. They've struggled. Last in the FBS, 6.37 yards per carry given up. Coming into this game, that's no good.
No, it's not good. They know it. And they knew what they were facing. These two teams nearly mirror images of one another, and both the offensive and defensive sides. And we take a look now, Chick-fil-A lineups, Jay. And we take a look at Arion Worthman, and we mentioned it. It was last year this weekend, all of a sudden, he's the starting quarterback in the Army game, not Nate Romine, and he's been really good since.
And nobody knew what to expect. He came in, I think he played better. He gave this offense a different dynamic because of his speed. He can throw the ball. When I went down on the field before the game, I was watching him throw. Reminded me a lot of Russell Wilson, his body type, the size, his legs. You said he's got hockey player legs.
He does. With tree trunks for legs. First career start a year ago this weekend. He started his career 6-0. Looking to throw, pressure, now runs. And he'll have a short pickup there is Ryan England, number 8 in there, getting in on the tackle for Army. And the Air Force offense brought to us by Chick-fil-A. Who else do you like among their group?
Ronald Cleveland. He's the most dangerous player in the field with the ball in his hands on either team. Jay Bateman said, we have to know where he aligns on every single play. They have tendencies when he's in the backfield, when he's split out wide. He's a game breaker.
Their home run hitter like Kel Walker is for Army. They swing it out. They get it right into the hands of him. And he's gang tackled out over the 45-yard line. Reynolds in there to help out. That's what he can do to you, and that's what you talked about, Worthman's ability to throw the ball.
And get it to Cleveland, get it to him quick, a nice little quick hitch, and then allow his athleticism to take over.
Army defense brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Who do you like there today?
Well, it's got to be Ryan England.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he brings so much to this defense. Jay Bateman has told us time and time again, I can't live without him. They've tried. Max Regan was in there. Different kind of defense when Ryan England is in there.
27th career start. On the ground goes Worthman, giving the ball off there, and he hands it off to Tim McVeigh. Veteran guys, played in this rivalry, knows what it's all about.
7.7 yards per carry. That's the highest in Air Force history.
It is.
I was surprised when I saw that stat. They got guys, Cleveland, McVeigh, they can get the ball to, and then Worthman, because of his speed and ability to throw the ball, it's a dangerous offense.
32 career touchdowns for Tim McVeigh in 35 games, 25 on the ground. This is Bordeaux, who's come on the last few weeks. They had some injury problems with Parker Wilson, so they're using a 1-2 punch at fullback with Bordeaux and Stafford.
Not as effective running the ball with the fullback position as Army. It's not the staple of their offense like it is for Army. They want to get the ball out wide. More tosses, more sweeps. Allow your playmakers, Cleveland and McVeigh, to do the damage.
Bordeaux last week against Colorado State, 67-2 touchdowns. 3rd and 1 here. Air Force trying to get to the Army 44 to convert. And Bordeaux, good second effort. I think he's got it based on the spot there. As the product of Altus, Oklahoma, Taven Bordeaux.
You hit it, Ben. I mean, it was second level. Watch the penetration by this defensive line. They get off on the snap, good penetration. First, it didn't look like he was going to have it, and then second effort right through, running through the arm tackle, another arm tackle, and then getting in there and getting the first down.
Ackerman was the first one that got in there. They're going to bring the chains out just to be sure. I think he's got it, don't you?
It's pretty close.
They've got it by about 1/3 of the football. ACC officiating crew here today in Colorado Springs. There's Jay Bateman, defensive coordinator for Army.
I think he's one of the best.
Agree.
Assistant coaches in the country. He's a guy I believe will be a head coach. We talk to him all the time, so we know his personality, how he interacts with his players, and a guy that I think will go on and become a head coach and be very successful.
He's done a terrific job the last couple of years with Army's defense. A defense that doesn't have a lot of depth, but they play hard. They play with toughness and heart, just like this Air Force program does. You can say the same thing about both of them. Worthman keeps it. Worthman, good chunk there. And he gets about a 7-yard pickup. Tackle by Elijah Riley.
Such a dangerous weapon running the ball. You see the quickness right there, and then look at that hole. Army can't afford that. You can't allow him to get to that second level so quickly, untouched. That's trouble.
So, a first down run there, and 93rd carry of 10 or more yards this season for Air Force. This is Nolan Erickson going nowhere. They're going to give him progress. We take a look now, Jay, at your extra points, your keys in the game today.
Well, for Army, establish a no-fly zone. Don't allow Air Force to beat you through the air. The wind helps with that. Ground and pound on offense. They don't throw the ball very much. 3 games, they haven't thrown a pass all year. And then stop the tank for Air Force. That's the fullback. You got to stop the tank up the middle and don't fumble away the game. 22 fumbles for Air Force this year. That's a problem. You look at Army, they only have 3 fumbles on the year, something they've been really efficient with this year.
Turnaround there has been nothing but short of remarkable for Army in that department. This is Worthman. There's Elijah Riley making his 2nd tackle of the game, and you know he's got to be fired up. He's not played this season. They had an academic issue. They had to make sure that it was taken care of and cleared before he could play, so he's fired up today, you know that.
Yeah, he's been practicing all year, did an excellent job coming in there, keeping contained, making Worthman cut back to where all your help is coming from. That's something Jay Bateman has emphasized. They've struggled at times, having contained, being disciplined on defense.
So a 3rd and 7. This will be the 9th play of the drive for Air Force. McVay goes in motion. Worthman looking that way, overthrows him. It'll bring up 4th and 7. Good job if you're Army's defense. McVay could not get anywhere near that ball. Good coverage on the outside there in the flat.
Stop for Jay Bateman and his defense. Luke Strabel, one of the best kickers in the country, 7-9 this year. Long of 50. I watched him go back to 61 in warm-ups. The wind is swirling. You can't really be consistent. It's in your face, it's behind you, it's to your left, it's to your right, so very difficult for a long field goal.
He kicked that 50-yarder at Michigan. This one they're calling from 48 yards. From the left hash, and Strabel pushing it. And there's that wind.
You can see it impacted.
Yeah.
That ball started well, it was a good hit, and the wind just ripped it to the right. Army gets a stop. They're up 7-0.
On the net there for Army. They won against Air Force at Cadet Rink last night over number 19 ranked Air Force. They'll play again tonight. So congrats to Brian Riley and his guys. Frank Serratori and his team will come back tonight, try to get the split. Some of the other events going on this weekend. It is a busy, busy weekend here on the base here at the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. Great to have you with us. With Jay Feely, Lauren Gardner on the field, all of our crew. My name is Ben Holden. Good to have you with us here for the 52nd installment of Army and Air Force. That is Kel Walker on the carry on 1st down. Army Jay on that opening drive. Tough to be more impressive than that. 5 plays, 75 and 239.
Bradshaw doing the damage. 2 big plays, getting the touchdown. Lauren Gardner told us she saw some adjustments going on down there on the Air Force sideline. Worried more about Bradshaw than the fullbacks trying to pull back that linebacking core. That's Bradshaw down.
Yeah, they're taking a look at Ahmad Bradshaw. The training staff is huddled around the senior out of Chicago. That's Jeff Monken there in the black pullover with a black hat on there. Certainly concerned about what is going on with his senior quarterback from Chicago. They are huddled around him big time.
One of the keys to their success this year has been the health of Ahmad Bradshaw. He's been healthy all year. You know, his first 2 years had gotten beat up a little bit, spent time in and out of the offense. You know, he just hands it off to Kel Walker on the left side. He kind of goes down there.
Oh, I see
kind of twisted it a little bit.
I saw what happened. He had a little something come out of him there. So they continue to tend to Ahmad Bradshaw after he just simply handed the ball off to Kel Walker, and he
looked like he got sick.
He did get sick. He had a bodily discharge, and who knows, it could be the altitude in this situation. You see on the left side.
Remember, he had the 2 big runs on the first drive. He hands off to Kel Walker. He's coming out. He looks fine. Top of your screen, we're looking right here, and you see him throw up.
Yeah, he did.
And that could be altitude sickness. And I've been there. I've played up here. I know it has an impact. They tried to tell us yesterday in the meetings it's not going to have an impact. There's nothing to it. I totally disagree with that because I know playing. I understand how that has an impact. you don't feel, sometimes in the NFL you come out a couple days early to get adjusted when you're playing at Denver. Army came out yesterday.
Yeah, and interesting to note, the officiating crew, they came in on Thursday to get themselves acclimated. It's an ACC crew. They're not used to being in this altitude, obviously being in the ACC. So
it's tougher on us old guys.
So Bradshaw is going to come out for, looks like a play here. He was in great spirits yesterday. Jeff Monken pacing the sidelines, and
it's Luke Langdon coming in.
Yes, it is Luke Langdon.
Calvin Hopkins, number 8, was the quarterback who came in for Army in their last game, led the 1-minute drive down the field to tie the game.
So Langdon in, Woolfolk is the fullback. And they get it to Darnell Woolfolk into the mosh pit, and again, Steve Russ talked about his defensive front being so good in their recent win streak of 3 in a row as Langdon trots over. Looks like he's staying in for another play here or not. No, Bradshaw is
staying on the sideline.
No, he's coming in. He's coming in. So he comes in, and Jeckham checks in as well. Cooper goes out. So you got 3rd and 4 coming up here. What do you look for, Jack?
Well, I think you're going to see, obviously, triple option. That's what we see all year.
Yeah.
You got Bradshaw. He's in shotgun. Kel Walker's back there, so anytime Kel Walker is back in shotgun, you can expect him to get the ball.
The play clock's an issue now.
That's going to.
Yeah.
I think they called timeout.
They did. Jeff Beezer is our referee today. So Army takes the timeout with 6:04 to play in the opening quarter. A 3rd and 4 facing Brent Davis in his offense. 7-0 Army lead. They took it their first possession, the opening possession of the game. Went 75 yards, and Bradshaw capped it off with a touchdown run. That is in the stadium here. Those are all, any venue you go into, you played here in Denver, and you go into where the Colorado Avalanche play, you go into World Arena here in Colorado Springs, and they put these signs up, and that's what can happen to you.
When I was in Arizona, we practiced in training camp up in Flagstaff, which is at about 7,000 feet. We had a number of guys that would get sick, had altitude sickness. It's something that you have to account for.
So 3rd and 4, Bradshaw out of the shotgun. Bradshaw keeps it, and Ahmad Bradshaw has picked up the first down. Lost his breakfast, and now comes back into the game and gets a first down, does Ahmad Bradshaw. Down to Lauren Gardner.
Fighting the effects of the altitude here. This is 6,500 feet above sea level. That's 1,000 feet above Denver even. And you know, Bradshaw told us yesterday very confidently that he didn't think the altitude would affect him at all. But guys, it's a real thing.
Yeah, Lauren, you know, you live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just saw it was a real thing a few minutes ago. Bradshaw back under center. Hand off here to the fullback, not much there. Griffin came up, nice job by Marquise Griffin there, and that is not an easy young man to tackle. And Darnell Woolfolk, 8 touchdowns on the season. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by GMC today.
Air Force lost 4 straight, Michigan, San Diego State, New Mexico, Navy. Then they turned their season around. Those are 4 tough teams. Then they won 3 straight. UNLV, Nevada, and then a big win against Colorado State, 45-28 last week. Forced 3 interceptions.
Andy Davidson.
False start.
He moved.
Yep.
First time I've called his name, and he moved. It'll back Army up 5 yards.
Number 40.
That's one thing.
Penalty. 2nd down.
That Army has done very well this year. Something Jeff Monken has emphasized. 36 penalty yards. Andy Davidson right here just going early. Only 36 penalty yards per game. That's 8th best in FBS. Air Force very good as well. They're only 39 penalty yards per game. So not hurting yourself. And when you run the triple option, so important not to have penalties, fumbles, even fumbles that you recover. You lose it down, you lose distance, and you can't overcome that when you run the triple option.
Yeah, you always hear coaches talk about staying on schedule. And that means staying ahead of the sticks. Here's Bradshaw, keeps it. Nice opening, and Bradshaw, he does that so well, Jay. Able to knife his way through would-be tacklers. Floor finished him off, but a good run for Ahmad Bradshaw there.
He has very good vision, understands flow, understands the defense, something that Brent Davis, offensive coordinator for Army, talked to us about, that he's great with adjustments, knowing the defense and just kind of knowing where the strength is and where it can get back to, and then powerful physical runner. Brings up 3rd and short.
3rd and a yard. Bradshaw, 4 100-yard games this season, 9 in his career. Off to a big start. Army's 2 of 2 on 3rd down. They need a yard. Bradshaw turns, hands off. Wolfolk. This is going to be close.
Very close.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Whether they get it or don't, you can be sure Army's going to go for it on 4th down.
Yes. So they're going to likely bring the sticks out here, Jeff Monk, and you say that because the analytics they use, right?
They're very much in tune with the analytics. They've been aggressive on 4th down 20 times this year. They've gone for it on 4th down 70% on the year, 14 times. They've got it. Jeff Monken changed their philosophy when he went to this analytics approach, knew that for them, in running the triple option, it was much more beneficial to be aggressive on 4th down. It helps Brent Davis, the offensive coordinator. And they get the 1st down barely.
They got it.
When he has 3rd down and he knows I have 2 downs to get it, it helps him in his play card. And he said when he starts and it's 1st down and they know if it's going to be 4th and less than 3, we're going to go for it. That helps him in his play calling. It's been an effective approach. One of the big changes for Army this year, and one of the things that they've done really well.
Well, those fullbacks, that group of them, 4 of them, coming into the game over 1,000 yards.
There's that notebook right there. It's the analytics notebook.
And in that fullback group, they've only had 3 negative yards. 1st and 10 Army. And a little misdirection there. Bradshaw, not much doing. In fact, he lost the yard. And we take a look now at our GMC game changer. And for the Air Force Falcons, it's Jack Floor and what he's done. There's a lot of red on that screen. He's been good for him.
Certainly has. 16 tackles against Michigan in that game. Tough physical game against Michigan. Expect the same thing today. Grant Ross, who I highlighted at the beginning of the game, Jack Floor, their 2 inside linebackers, got to play huge, shut down the fullback.
It was the first tackle for loss for either team in the game, and it's a loss of 1. Bradshaw trying to find him. Oh, he does! Ahmad Bradshaw! And Griffin dropped him, but Bradshaw continues to march and be impressive. It's a 1st down Army. Gain of 32.
He's not looking sick right now.
No, he's not.
Fakes to the fullback, explodes into the crease, and another big gain, and Air Force has got to find an answer for Ahmad Bradshaw.
Keith Griffin, he has been busy, number 2. Made the stop there on Ahmad Bradshaw. Army's into the red zone. What they've done this season, just a touch under 84%. Walker broke the tackle of Ross, and he's able to lean forward and get a couple of more down to the 16-yard line, Jay.
Ben, Air Force has given up 232 yards per game rushing this year. That's at the bottom end of FBS, 119th in the country. And when they face triple option quarterbacks, Navy, New Mexico, they have struggled. And you see that again today with Ahmad Bradshaw.
Coming up on a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Defensive staff for Air Force trying to figure out a way to stop Bradshaw and Army. 117 yards for Ahmad Bradshaw. Gives off here to Kel Walker. And not much there. Good work to get out and force him out of bounds. Griffin over there again to help out. And that front had a lot to do with that. Capra involved in a play for Air Force. 3rd down coming up.
Air Force lost 11 of their 12 top tacklers from last year. 74% of the tackles. We said the only returning starter was Grant Ross. 10 seniors they lost from that defense last year. So it's been a building process, trying to figure out this defense, help their guys understand what to do, how to be successful.
And that is Jack Floor they're tending to. They help him up, so a good sign for the Falcons. 3rd and 8 coming up inside of a minute to go when we come back. So 3rd and 8 upcoming for Army's offense. 55 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, and Jack Floor, they're taking him in to check him out after a hit he took from Kalen Holt, one of the fullbacks for Army. They call him Hawaiian Punch, and he gave him some punch here.
Right there in the middle of your screen, number 50, leading tackler for Air Force. He got floored right here.
He certainly did.
You knew it was going to be a tough physical game. Both these teams, a lot of respect for each other.
No question.
But it's a little frosty relationship as well. I guess that's the best way to put it.
It's a nice way to put it. 134 yards for Army on the ground. Lamont Bradshaw out of the shotgun. And he hands the ball off. Army's going to be short of the first down. Bradshaw averaging 19.5 per carry as they gave it off there to Darnell Woelfel.
Is that good? 19.5 carry?
That's pretty good.
You'll win a lot of ball games.
Yes, you will. So now they bring on Blake Wilson. There's another injured Air Force player down on a knee at the 15-yard line. And Woelfel goes over and talks to Mike Vitti, the fullback coach who played in this rivalry.
The game clock to 25 seconds.
That is Micah Capra, one of their defensive linemen, the junior out of Argyle, Texas. 3 tackles a week ago. He started the last 5 games for Troy Calhoun's Air Force defense. Jeff Monken talking things over with Jay Bateman. And Capra walking off under his own power. Army's went back to the sidelines. They continue to discuss here as Capra makes his way into the Air Force bench area.
That was a big stop for Steve Russ, defense coordinator for Air Force. Couldn't afford to let Army go down and score another touchdown and get up 14. It's windy. You already saw 1 field goal missed by Air Force, and one of the best kickers in the country, Luke Strabel, has an impact. It's really hard for the kickers to understand what this wind, because it's gusting so much, and it's not one way. It's not prevailing one way.
I think what they want to do here, this is my guess here, is let this thing run down and go to the other end.
The prevailing wind is into their face right now. So yes, they would let it go out and then go to the other end to kick the field goal.
Well, they're lined up. It'll be a 30-yard attempt if he kicks it, and he won't. And on 4th and 6, the opening quarter, the time has expired.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And after 15 minutes of play, 52nd all-time meeting between Army and Air Force. So far, Jeff Monken's guys with the lead. At the end of the first quarter, it's Army 7, Air Force nothing. Great to have you with us here from Air Force. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network. Back here at Falcon Stadium, Colorado Springs, Army and Air Force set to begin the second quarter. Blake Wilson. Jay, 2 weeks ago, he had his moment in the sun.
Game winner against Temple. Got to have a lot of confidence, but a difficult kick because of the winds.
30-yard attempt. Potter the hole. Wilson on the way, and then hit the upright. It hit the upright, no good.
Luke Strabel's kick looked good and went up and then shot right. Blake Wilson's kick did the exact same thing, a shorter kick, but it shoots right. Jeff Monken not happy, frustrated. You can see this ball, he hits it well, and then it just shoots right here. The wind grabs it, hits the upright, it's no good. Army still up a touchdown.
Go Air Force, beat Army!
Go Air Force, beat Army.
Go Air Force!
Beat Army! Go Air Force, beat Army!
Great show of support from those over in Southwest Asia. We salute all the Army and Air Force folks serving around the country, and those in the Navy, of course, and the Marines. But on this day, specifically Army and Air Force here on our broadcast. I like the Top Gun look in that plane, by the way.
It's a big one, Goose.
It's a shame we don't have the same taste in movies and have more fun. Here goes Worthman back to work. Thought about the pitch, instead kept it. Oyatuga was there first to make the tackle. Coming off the end, and Army has dominated this game in terms of those numbers so far, Jay.
2 missed field goals because of the wind. We talked about it to open that it would have an impact on this game. Army hasn't attempted a pass yet. I think Air Force needs to go back to Cleveland. One of their good plays was a quick hitch to Cleveland and allowing his athleticism to take over.
He's a home run hitter indeed. Where's number 3 for the Falcons? 2nd and 6. Army's defense, they blow that play up. Good work in there, Raymond Wright. Cole Christensen getting in there as well, and the captain, John Voigt, 59 there.
Jay Bateman loves to see this penetration by his defensive line, blowing it up, as you said. Anytime you're going against a triple option and the defensive interior can get penetration into the backfield, that's going to cause problems.
So a 3rd and 7 here for Arion Worthman and the Air Force offense. Just their 2nd possession. They were 1 of 2 converting 3rd downs on that opening possession. 10 plays, 45 yards. They missed a 47-yard field goal. Flags fly all over the place.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
So the verdict there from our referee today.
Jay Bateman tried to run down and call timeout. He had 12 men out on the field. And that's a big penalty because you're looking at 3rd and 7. And when you're a triple option offense, we've said it already a couple times today, when you're behind in the sticks, big disadvantage.
Timeout, Air Force.
So
he said Air Force, he meant Army.
Yeah.
He pointed towards Army.
Correction. 30-second timeout.
There. So each team with 2 timeouts remaining early in the 2nd quarter.
All right, here you go. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was the problem. You're only allowed 11. You have to count right. Somebody wasn't supposed to be on there and had to quickly run down. The timeout was big. That was worth it because it's 3rd and 7. They're behind in the sticks. It's worth a timeout there. Army only has 1 timeout left in this first half.
Yes, get that cleaned up. 1 for Army, 3 for Air Force. There is no penalty. So it remains 3rd and 7. Troy Calhoun, 9-1. Attended the Air Force Academy, been here 11 years. He's 9-1 against Army. Air Force team has not lost at home here to Army.
That's Cleveland right there. He's their playmaker.
Since 05, yes, number 3, dangerous weapon. Worthman taking a look that way. Nobody open. And now he's going to zing one. Catch. Was he inbounds, though? They say yes. And the grab is made, and Air Force doing what they do best, going to the air.
Excellent job by Worthman. His primary read was Cleveland. It wasn't there. He rolled out and then just throws a dime. Did he get that foot in bounds? Looks like he did.
Yeah.
Cam Jones on coverage. McClinton has been starting at that boundary corner. They went back to Cam Jones today. Jay Bateman not really happy with McClinton's play, and they've kind of gone back and forth trying to find the right guy at that boundary corner position.
That was Jake Matkovich, a junior out of Milwaukee, his first catch of the season. Now they go back to the ground. Here's a good run from Tim McVeigh. Wrapped up and dropped by Ryan England, the senior, back in the lineup today. But another Air Force first down. Today's 1st and 10 line is being brought to you by Golden Corral.
See how quick and shifty and the speed that McVeigh has and why he's such a dangerous guy when he gets the ball in his hands.
Great career he's had. Chronic in the Midwest down the middle, and they overthrew a wide open target there. That was Ryan Riffett, who had a big touchdown last week. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That was a touchdown if Worthman hits it. You're going to see right down the middle. Watch this tight end run right down the middle, and nobody's home for Army. And it's a touchdown. All Worthman has to do is just underthrow it and allow your tight end to catch it. Huge mistake by Worthman. That's where that wind can have an impact. You're going into the wind right now. You think you have to throw it a little bit further than you do, and you overthrow it, you miss a big one.
Riffett with that 56-yard touchdown grab a week ago against Colorado State. 2nd and 10. Worthman keeps. Now a little pitch. Good job by Army. Riley got in there. And Christensen and Gibson finish off. Cleveland there.
Jay Bateman and Jeff Monken have been dying to get Elijah Riley back on the field. They couldn't do it because of the academic issue. They didn't want to play him and then have to go back and forfeit games, so they had to wait long time, a lot longer than they wanted. They finally have him back out there, and a difference maker when he's on the field.
Jay Bateman told us yesterday their most talented defensive back, and Army fans will know this. Elijah Riley took over last year after Brandon Jackson's death on 9/11. Big 3rd and 12 here for Air Force. Worthman just gets rid of it in time, overthrows Riffett. Gibson there was on the coverage and got in his face. 4th down coming up.
Holding, offense, number 66. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
So Gibson, he's had his moments this year. And good moments, and Worthman pays the price here, waited till the last second.
2 overthrows by Worthman on that drive. Both times he had his tight end open. And Air Force has to punt as a result of his misfires.
Indeed they do. That's Reynolds back awaiting the punt. Charlie Scott, punting Gene and his family. His brother starts for Nick Saban in Alabama.
You could see the wind just knock that ball down there, punting into the wind. It was a good punt. It caught up to its apex, and then the wind just crushed it. Takes a bounce back for Army.
Indeed it does. Army gets the football back, leading 7-0 here in Colorado Springs.
Said who our half the year MVPs are. That was my guy Kareem Hunt. I think he's
great call.
Changed that offense for Kansas City. Allowed Alex Smith to be a little bit more aggressive. Ezekiel Elliott going to play in that game. That's huge.
Yeah, there you see the military might going into the weekend. In terms of rush leaders, Navy, Army, then Air Force, and a short pickup here to the 25-yard line. Darnell Woolfolk had 5 carries in the opening quarter. Ahmad Bradshaw over 100, Jay, his 5th 100-yard game of the year, 10th in his career.
Yeah, and that's been the difference in the game. Bradshaw breaking big runs. He had a 48-yarder. He scored the touchdown. So far, Kel Walker only has 10 yards. Woolfolk only has 10 yards. Everybody else averaging 2 yards a carry. Bradshaw doing the damage.
Army's last possession missed a 30-yard field goal. And this one's going to be a look just shy. As we take a look at Ahmad Bradshaw's resume reel today, it's impressive.
He was resolute in our meetings. Very focused, determined. This game means so much to these Army seniors, the fact that they haven't beaten Air Force yet. They don't want to leave and go to that next part of their career, serving their country, and have to look at every Air Force member and say, I never beat you guys. That one hurts. That one, I understand that the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, this is one of the best rivalries in the country.
Very unique to it, too. They're on the same team, but today they're battling to try and beat each other, and they get the first down here on 3rd and 1. Just foul the pile. Jeckham, yep,
right little there. Extracurricular going on up there. No flags thrown.
Jeff is a fiery competitor.
Yeah, you're going to see right here, after the play, knocks him down, gets a pancake, and then he's getting up, he kind of hits them, and they get in each other's face, and it's emotional. Let's be clear, this year it was emotional. Last year, before the game even started, at Mikey Stadium, we saw that, and these Army players, there's a chip on their shoulder because they've been beaten down by this Air Force team.
Air Force last lost to Army 2012 at Mikey Stadium. Bradshaw, great job dragging the defender there. James Jones. And a 2nd down upcoming here. Jones stepped into their lineup in the last few weeks with an injury to Coppola, and there's what Bradshaw has done. We mentioned his 10th career 100-yard game. We're not even at halftime yet.
The only thing he's done wrong was get sick and miss a play in that first quarter. You can't see the ill effects. Running the ball hard, physical, breaking tackles.
Armed Forces football proudly supported by Golden Corral. Fullback straight ahead. Air Force stiffens up front there. And they continue. You see the emotion continue, as Jay mentioned. It was Jordan Asbury for Army and Shaq Vereen in there jawing, 6 and 3. As they unfurl the bodies in there. Jordan Asbury coming in.
You don't want a 15-yard penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, late hit, be disciplined. Play up to that level, but know when to cut it off.
Play clock down to 2. They get it off, and they give it off to Darnell Woolfolk straight ahead to the 49 of Air Force.
Army coming in averaging 6.2 yards per carry, 31 rushing touchdowns. They added to that with Bradshaw's touchdown, 32 now. Running the ball so well, not throwing hardly at all. They only average 16 yards per game throwing the ball.
It's not their thing unless there's about a minute and a half
left,
in the game, like 2 weeks ago,
minute
right?
30, no problem. We'll go the length of the field, tie the game. That was really impressive. That wasn't Bradshaw. That was Kelvin Hopkins.
Bring him in. Hopkins, they do if they need to run the 2-minute drill, and he did it so well 2 weeks ago against Temple. Bradshaw keeps it here. Again, knifing his way through there. Griffin on his back, but he dragged him 5 yards. First down, Army.
This has been their most effective play. Bradshaw faking to the fullback and then following the 2 lead blockers, getting to that next level. Excellent job by the offensive line, climbing and picking up those linebackers and allowing Bradshaw to get through. 3 times they've run it, 3 times it's been big plays.
Halfway through the second quarter, the Air Force defense trying to find a way to come up with a stop here. First and 10 from the 31. Inside handoff there from Bradshaw, and it'll pick up about 4. Shaq Vereen involved in the tackle for the Air Force Falcons. Jeff Ejeckham, his best career game came against Air Force number 81 there last year with 2 grabs and over 30 yards.
It's not easy to be a receiver for Army. You know there's going to be 2-3 games that you don't even get a pass thrown to you. You're out there stock blocking. You know, that's what they care most about. If you're a physical receiver, you get out, you make those blocks, because that's where big runs happen. For Bradshaw or Kel Walker to hit a big run, you need those receivers to block at the next level.
2nd and 6, Bradshaw. Walker, can he get free? Walker up the sideline, touchdown! Kel Walker, we mentioned his home run ability, and he just hit one out there. A 27-yard touchdown, and Army's up 13.
Talked about those blocks in the second level. Number 78, Brett Toth, right tackle, 15 yards down the play, seal on the block. He's the leader on that offensive line. Gained 80 pounds since he got here.
220 when he got there,
a legitimate NFL prospect. He can run, he can block.
He's 21 years old. His Toth turned 21 the day Army opened the season with a win at home against Fordham. Wilson is good, and it's 14-0 Army on the road with 6:18 to play until halftime. And another look, Jay.
Kel Walker getting the ball. Brett Toth leading the way. Army up 14.
$14-0 Army in the second quarter, Jay.
Brett Toth getting out. We talked about second level blocks. 78, the right tackle, Brett Toth. And then Asbury, number 3, watch this block here, and then Kel Walker has the speed, something that Army hasn't had, that speed at that running back position to explode, take advantage of those blocks. And Air Force is at a point right now they have to answer. You've given up 2 big drives. Army coming in, gets up early, you're up 14-0. You have to have an answer if you're Air Force.
So Walker's 5th touchdown of the season, his 2nd against Air Force. He had one last year in the loss at Mikey Stadium. Ran that day 3 carries for 38 yards. That touchdown run 27 yards. And dare I say, you could have drove a tank through that hole you just showed us.
Yeah, and you had enough time. Just excellent blocking by Toth and Asbury, and then entire offensive front.
Here's Schrag. He puts the right foot into it. And it goes 4 yards into the end zone. The 1st and 10 from the 25 for Air Force. Take a look now at this week's Where the Now, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. We go back to 07. Army faced Air Force, and the Black Knights had to face off against Air Force running back Chad Hall. Rushed for a school record 275 and a touchdown and a 30 10 win. Jay, you just saw him the other night.
I did. I saw him roaming the sidelines. The Bills did not play well in New York against the Jets, but they've had a really good year. 5-3 right now, and I think they surprised a lot of people.
What a beautiful sight here at Falcon Stadium. Great to have you with us with Jay Feely, Lauren Gardner on the field, all of our great crew. My name is Ben Holden. Third possession of the game for the Air Force offense. Gibson got to the ball first. Got some help there from James Nautigal, as it was McVeigh on the carry. And last week, this is what Air Force did. The possessions.
I mean, look at that. Look at the drives, the touchdown. So far, only 41 yards rushing. Got to find a way, Ben, to soften this front up. Army is being aggressive right now, and they're having their way.
Gain of a yard on first down. Worthman. Reverse. McVeigh's got it. Christensen. Oh, and a heavy hit delivered. That was Riley. His first game of the year came in with a heavy shot.
He's been waiting about 3 months to deliver a blow like that.
Let's listen to this at full speed.
Coming in there, thumping. A lot of frustration, pent-up aggression, hasn't been able to play, wants to be out there for the team. You talked about it. Jay Bateman says their best covered corner. He laid the wood right there.
Product of Port Jefferson, New York, 3rd and 5. Air Force 50% on third down today. Can they convert here? And they're close, but they're going to be about a yard short, maybe a little bit less, as Taven Bordeaux on the carry there.
I think you go for it here. 13 times this year Air Force has gone on fourth down, 77%, 10 of 13. That's 7th best in the country. And I think it's time, 4th and 1, you have to go for it. You don't want to give Army this ball back.
Falcons are 10 of 13 on fourth down, as we mentioned. They need a yard. Worthman's got it, and he's got the first down. He picks up close to 5. And their leader on offense does the job. They needed it, as you said, Jay.
Big first down for Air Force. Had to have it there. I thought you had to go for it, and you had to get it. Excellent job on the right side of that offensive line, getting push, sealing the side, allowing Worthman to come around and get the first down.
24 yards on a handful of carries on the ground for Worthman to this point. Late in the second quarter, these two teams, the way they're on the ball, this game might be over in 2:15. And a good pace, a little shake and bake there, a little point guard move. Saw that last year when we first saw Arion Worthman. Good pick up there on the run for Worthman. Tackle made by Cole Christensen.
Really good quickness by Arion Worthman. Has breakaway speed and good quickness. A lot of that is due to his thickness in his lower body. Those legs are just so strong and so powerful.
Today's 1st and 10 line is being brought to you by Golden Corral. And Air Force needs 3 to reset that 1st and 10 line for their cause. And a run right ahead there by Bordeaux to the 50-yard line. They get the first down. So Air Force putting together a drive here with a little more than 3 minutes to play until halftime, and trying to get on the board, down 14-0 here at home.
I think that 4th down conversion was a must, and I think getting points here for Air Force is a must. They got 3 timeouts, not in a hurry, don't need to rush.
Inside of 3 minutes to play until halftime. Cleveland in motion, gets the toss. And a good job to track him down from behind by Alex Ackerman. Another one of those seniors. What a career he's had, what a year he's had.
When we talked to Jay Bateman yesterday, he said we have to understand where Cleveland aligns on every play because it dictates what they do. So that defense is focusing on number 3, where he aligns. When he's at the running back, they're ready for him to get the ball. They tracked him down and got a nice stop.
8th career tackle for Ackerman against Air Force.
What I took away from our meeting with Jay Bateman was 2 things. 1, focus on Cleveland. 2, make Worthman get rid of the ball.
And 2nd and 9, Worthman. This is going to be, they wanted to throw it. They clearly wanted to throw it. They tried to. It is Andrew Smith. with the ball.
This is going to be a penalty, because here's why. Because they give the ball here, if we roll it, when they give the ball here, now you do not have the ability to throw this ball away like a quarterback would when you're outside the pocket.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah, good call
offense.
by you, Jay.
Number 21. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Lost it down. Third down.
If it's Worthman and Worthman rolls outside and he's outside the tackle box, he can throw that ball away and it's okay. It's not intentional grounding. Because he gives the ball, when the quarterback gives it off to anybody else, you don't have the luxury of throwing the ball away. You have to either throw it down the field or eat it. That's a huge penalty. Yeah,
the ball was in the hands of Andrew Smith. So it backs him up now, 3rd and 14. They need to get just across the Army 40-yard line to convert.
And look for Cleveland here.
And Worthman bobbled the ball. He bobbled it, and he was able to recover, but it backs him up even further. It brings up 4th down. The punt team will come on.
One of our keys, Ben, we talked about it. You can't fumble away the game. That's Worthman's 14th fumble on the year. You see the snap. It's okay. Takes his eyes off you. Trying to look lucky to get that ball back. But anytime you're running the triple option, those fumbles kill you on offense. Something Army has done phenomenal this year in eliminating those plays that hurt them tremendously the last 2 years.
Reynolds awaiting the punt back at the 15. Scott's first punt just 25 yards because of the wind. And now we get a whistle, halting play.
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
This is not going well if you're Air Force and Troy Calhoun right now, this possession.
Terrible end of this possession. You went for it on 4th down, you got it. You got a couple of first downs. You get to the 50-yard line, you have first down. You got to go in there and score. You get a couple of penalties, a fumble, and now you're putting into the win and giving the ball back to Army with a minute left.
So Charlie Scott on for the 2nd time today, averaging 43 a punt. Can he do it in this win? This is a pretty good effort in that win. And a 69-yarder last week against Colorado State. Colorado State had nobody back, but his career long. This is a pretty good effort by Scott there, isn't it?
I think it's a very good punt by him. He caught the ball, tough in this win. Worthman couldn't do it on that one. He fumbled the ball. And Army with a minute left. Are they going to go down there and try to get a field goal before the end of the half?
Sun and 60 degrees here in Colorado Springs. 53 seconds remaining until halftime. And coming up on the Ram Trucks halftime report, Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fourier, and Aaron Murray get you caught up on all the scores happening in college football. They'll also have previews of LSU and Alabama. Number 19 against number 2. That's tonight at 8 Eastern on CBS. They'll also look at Colorado State and Wyoming coming up after our game. So, Jay, what's your strategy here if you're Army? I'll start with you.
53 seconds. You only have one timeout. I'm going to the locker room comfortable up 14-0.
See, I would have liked to have seen him put Calvin Hopkins in, but they'll play the percentages here, and they do get the ball. Air Force 1 and deferred.
First, charge timeout.
So
Air Force.
Playing the timeout game here is Troy Calhoun with 49 ticks remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll take a timeout as well. 14-0 Army on top. Some light clouds rolling through here in Colorado Springs. 49 seconds to play until halftime, and these Army Black Knights will hit the gridiron again next Saturday at noon Eastern. They return home to Michie Stadium, welcome in David Cutcliffe and his guys. The Duke Blue Devils sold out Michie Stadium. Only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Our last trip there, our crew up to the post. And Jay, have they ever defended the post, Army, this season?
Been excellent at home. A couple of tough wins. Temple, Eastern Michigan, the Buffalo game, all tight. Big wins at the end for Army.
So 2nd and 9, 49 seconds remain. Calhoun used the timeout on the last play. Bradshaw out to the 40-yard line. He is running like a man possessed. Kyle Floyd, the tackle.
Same play I talked about earlier. It's the 4th time they've run this play. Watch the fake and then following the running back. And that's just Bradshaw picking his way, running aggressive. Now they call timeout. Now they're going to be a little bit more aggressive here.
Injured Air Force player they're tending to. It's young man in on the tackle. We'll step aside as they tend to Kyle Floyd. Right after this, we'll come back.
Football Chavez here. When you have Football TV with 35 channels of sports and the best in European soccer, you'll never miss another goal!
Stream the most live sports for the least money. Try Fubo TV free today.
New Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. Balanced, nutritious, and delicious. With 22 grams of protein, savory vegetables, quinoa and cashews. Together in perfect harmony. New Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. This is fit.
So back here at Falcon Stadium with 43 seconds remaining in the first half. And we look back at the last sequence of events.
That foot came up in a precarious situation for Kyle Floyd.
Yes. The heel of Ahmad Bradshaw.
He's hurting. I've been there.
Ouch.
That's no fun. He's up, though.
Good to see. Been a good football player for him this year, has Floyd. Stepped in, done a good job for him on a defense that had just one starter back entering the year. Came in with 38 tackles, a pick, and 4 pass breakups. So 1st and 10 after that run. Bradshaw closing in this first half, Jay, on his career high, which was 177 against Fordham in the opener this year for the Black Knights.
This clock is going to start as soon as they wind it.
From the 40-yard line, Bradshaw, Walker, gonna be a loss. Good job by Air Force and their defense. Surrounding the ball carrier, Kel Walker. Lakota Wills leading the charge in there.
Both coaches now are gonna be content to go to halftime. Pretty windy. Blake Wilson, Army's kicker, already missed a 30-yard field goal going this same way. Tough to kick. Luke Strabel missed one for Air Force as well.
Yeah.
No reason to risk it for Army. You're up 14-0. You're comfortable. Go to halftime. You're going to get the ball coming out in the second half.
So the Black Knights with a 14-0 lead on top of Air Force. Air Force trots off, and they'll try to make some adjustments. Get ready for the second half here. These two teams, Service Academy rivals. Patriotism, pride, passion. The CIC trophy a factor in this game today. Army's got the edge through 2 quarters, 14-0. So far, Army on top of Air Force. The Falcons looking to come back strong in half number 2. Welcome upstairs to the broadcast booth alongside my broadcast partner, Jay Feely. My name is Ben Holden. Lauren Gardner's on the field with us as well. Jay, your thoughts overall on this game so far?
I felt like Army imposed their will. From the very beginning, Ahmad Bradshaw, 164 yards rushing, and pretty much did whatever he wanted. Air Force, at halftime, adjustments, have to find an answer for Ahmad Bradshaw.
No question about it. Our first half stats are brought to us today by 5 Hour Energy. Aside from that red line, anything else grabbing your eyes?
231 yards rushing for Army, only 61 for Air Force. You see 8.2 a play to 3.9. It was an imposing physical dominance by Army. And we talked about at the beginning, Air Force, they have been the team over the last 20 years. 18 of 20 wins in the last 20 times they've played each other. And they got to find an answer here in the second half.
And the Falcons will get the ball. McVay back there. He's taken one back in his outstanding career here in Colorado Springs. Nick Schrag, earlier this week, added to the Ray Guy watch list. He's kicking off here. The Ray Guy, of course, is for punting, but he has had a turnaround year, Feely.
Especially from where he was last year. Forever in Jeff Monken's doghouse.
Big time, and you see the wind, the effects of that. The wind advisory here all day in Colorado Springs. The sun, beautiful. The temps are beautiful. Goes off again, so they're going to bring one of the guys on the wing over to hold it on the tee for him there. change it all anyway when you're kicking off? It's different. Is it different than a field goal or not?
You bring in the holder to keep the ball steady. That's the safety, so Air Force already knows that's who the safety is. And a lot of times they press down too hard and it impacts the kick.
So that works, and Schrag sends this one into the end zone. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 for Air Force when we begin this possession. Let's get down to Lauren Gardner, who's got some updates for us. Lauren.
Yeah, I spoke with both head coaches there at the half. Jeff Monken, very relaxed, said that first half wasn't perfect for his team. He's going to tell his players, hey, we have to continue to focus on fundamentals, execute, and know that the second half is going to be a battle. As for Troy Calhoun, he said we could not establish a drive at all, and defensively, we could not stop the run. We have to play more stout and focus on tackling. And guys, as for the conditions down here, you saw what happened there on the tee at the kickoff here to start the second half. The coach has said that with the kicking game, they're just going to play the wind.
All right, very good. Thanks so much, Lauren. And Air Force has just 5 first downs here today, Jay. They've been averaging 32 in their 3-game win streak. McVay the carry on the first down run. So indeed, they have got to find a way to get something going as we'll take a peek at their first half possessions.
Started with the missed field goal. They had an opportunity at the end on that last possession, got to the 50, had a penalty, and then a fumble that ended that possibility.
Keep it on the ground, straight ahead, right into the heart of that Army defense. Brinson in there, Raymond Wright as well. It's Taven Bordeaux. So it's going to bring up 3rd and very short. See what Air Force has done. Their first drive, second halves this season. 3 punts, 2 fumbles, a couple of scores of the touchdown variety, and a field goal. Big play here, 3rd and 1. And they've got it. They've got it and then some. Out close to the 45. They mark him down at the 44. It's Tim McVay again.
You said it. I thought it was an important first down as well. McVay, good push up front. Good hard physical running. Air Force needs a long, sustained drive that ends in points to get them back in this game.
McVay second on their team in carries and rushing yards, only behind the young man under center, Arion Worthman. 9-4 as a starter. Jumps over a defender there. And a good pickup. That's exactly what they want on that first down run.
Gets him ahead in the sticks. Now you can do anything you want. You want to take a shot to Cleveland, you can do that. You want to continue to run the triple option, give it to McVay, you can do that.
Mike Thiessen, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons. Worthman in trouble. Did a good job to get something positive there as Ackerman had him in his sight. So did Cam Jones and James Nautigal.
What James Gibson did there, Ben, number 2, the boundary safety came up the field and cut off the wide side. Even though he didn't make the tackle, he forced him back to the help. That's what Jay Bateman preaches. Disciplined defense, understanding where your help is, not allowing them to get the corner.
Biggest play Gibson's made in his career was on a 2-point attempt for Eastern Michigan to try to win the game a few weeks ago, and he stopped Ian Erickson. 3rd and 3. Worthman 9 carries, 31 yards. Takes it out of the gun. He's still got it. There's the pitch. They lost it. And they got it back, it looks like. Oyatuga was right there, but could not get his mitts on it. And I believe McVay indeed recovered it. That's a big break for Air Force to not lose possession there.
Fumbles again, rearing their head. The second one of the day. Now that's 24 on the year for Air Force. A good pitch, and McVay can't bring it in. They are lucky to get it back, but because of that, now you have to punt the ball and give it back to Army, and it ends a promising drive.
Yeah. Scott almost got it. Army got good pressure in there. And this is a beautiful effort by Scott. Downed inside or right at the 5, they're going to say. That was a beautiful job turned in by Charlie Scott, their punter. A 46-yard punt, but the placement was everything there. Army gets it when we come back.
I'm Major General Randy George, the commanding general of the 4th Infantry Division.
And I'm Patty George, also no task too great, 88.
For the last 100 years, the soldiers of the 4th Infantry Division have stood steadfast and loyal in defense of our nation.
Go Army! Beat Air Force!
Equal time. We heard from the Air Force folks in the first half. Now the Army folks. Great to be a part of this great rivalry here today. Army will start at their own 5. First time today inside of their own 10. Army's put together a half dozen 90-plus yard drives this season. Can they do it here? Bradshaw the fake, Toth out in front. Bradshaw continues to impress. Ahmad Bradshaw, a huge pickup, forced out by Marquise Griffin. And Bradshaw just set a new career high in rushing with that run there, a pickup of 20.
Kel Walker right here. The tendency is when they're in shotgun to hand it to Kel Walker. So what do? They fake it to Walker, and then Bradshaw the other way. You get the defense flowing one way, and Bradshaw takes it the other way. An excellent job by Army and Brent Davis, offensive coordinator, understanding what his tendencies are, going away from that, and using that against the defense.
There you go. Mention it. There's the exact number by the folks from our truck, 184, a new career high. He had set it earlier this year in the opener against Fordham, and he's approaching 200 in the game, and Kel Walker goes virtually nowhere there. Brody Bagnall, the tackle for Air Force. First half possessions for the Black Knights and their offense, Jay.
Sustained drives. Look at those first 3 drives, 75, 57, 78 yards. The only error, the missed field goal by Blake Wilson. It's been tough kicking for both kickers. Both had missed field goals in that first half, but Army effective running the ball.
And the win to blame for both, correct?
Yeah, it had an impact. I mean, you have to overcome it. You have to try and go out there and adjust and understand what it's doing.
So like a golf shot, you got to line yourself a little differently or not? Get back to that in a minute. Here's Walker, and Walker's got the first down. It was another tackle for Bagnall.
2 straight runs for Kel Walker. They faked it on the first one. Here's Bradshaw running hard. They ran that play 5 times in the first half, and they were effective every time they ran it.
It was a 48-yard pickup, and then Ahmad Bradshaw capped it off and took it in for a 7-0 lead.
Then they come out and go out to Kel Walker, get it outside. A couple nice blocks by Toth and Asbury. Army doing whatever they wanted in the first half.
Time of possession is evened up some. You can hear that hitting all the way up here. I love the academy rivalries. These men, the women that also attend these academies, the men and women, they're all on the same team. But for what, 3 afternoons in the course of a college football season, when these teams, all these academies meet, they're not. There's no other rivalry in college sports like it.
There's not. It's really special being around it the last 3 years. Having so much respect for every serviceman and women around the country.
Yes. Second and 9. Bradshaw keeps it. Tough run.
There you go,
James Jones got to him first there, and he looks like he's about a yard short. Bring up 3rd and a yard. And Ahmad Bradshaw, he lost his breakfast in the first half.
He didn't need it. he didn't need it because he has been running the ball. You saw it right there. Nice little spin move, picking up an extra 5-6 yards.
Huge play here. You hear the Air Force faithful behind their defense. 3rd and 1 upcoming. They give it to the big boy Woolfolk, and he's got it. You can't stop him there. He just plowed ahead, got a good push, picked up 2. That'll move the sticks for Army's offense.
They haven't done it inside with the fullbacks. That's only 23 yards rushing for the fullbacks today. They have over 1,200 yards rushing from that fullback position, 15 touchdowns on the season. But it's been outside Bradshaw and Kel Walker. Their inside runs that have been successful have been Bradshaw faking it to the fullback and then following his running backs through the hole.
Darnell Woolfolk checks out. They were happy to get him back. Really the best he's been 2 weeks ago since he was injured in Columbus against Ohio State. This is Walker. Another tough run and a good push from Kel Walker. There a host of blue shirts in there to stop him. And to your point, Jay, here's the numbers on those fullbacks.
All four fullbacks have been productive, different types of runners. Woolfolk is the bull. They love him. Andy Davison better against an odd front. He had a big year last year. Kalen Holt and Slumka come on. Slumka's the biggest, most powerful, and Holt probably has the most upside of any of those fullbacks.
And a great nickname, Hawaiian Punch. And then you got Slumka, who's the Wexford Sledgehammer. 2nd and 4. Darnell Woolfolk gets it, powers his way ahead. Good push there. I believe he's going to be just shy looking at the spot. What do you think, Jay?
Very close. I think you're right. He's got to get almost all the way to the 41-yard line for the first down.
Right. Don't see them calling for the chains at this moment. And it's going to be another short yardage situation. Another 3rd and 1. Crowd into it again here at Falcon Stadium.
Slumka and their fullback expect him to get the ball.
Right on cue, Jay. That lean might have helped him. It looks like it did. And getting to him first was Brody Bagnall, but I don't think it was quick enough. It wasn't. They moved the chains. The march continues for Army.
Brent Davis loves Slumka's size and power. He used him in short yardage situations. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year. Big first down conversion for this Army offense. And if you're Air Force, desperately need a stop right here. Cannot allow Army to go down and go up 3 scores.
Defensive front 7 for Air Force. 2 straight 3rd and 1 conversions. They've given up. Bradshaw fakes to Cooper, and Ahmad Bradshaw takes it down close to the 35-yard line on first down. Armed Forces football proudly sponsored by USAA today.
Army has not yet attempted a pass today. Doesn't surprise me. Not just because they haven't thrown the ball very much at all this year, but with the win, we didn't think that they would throw it at all unless they needed to.
Well, Calvin Hopkins 2 weeks ago was 5 out of 12 for 67 on that game-tying drive when he hit Jermaine Adams for his first career touchdown. This will be the 11th play of the drive. Inside of 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Bradshaw, head on. And there is Ross. Couple of veterans that have gone head-to-head on more than one occasion.
Better job by the linebacking core of Air Force, understanding that that's what Army has been doing, faking to the fullback and then following the fullback. A lot of times when they fake to the fullback, then they go outside with the triple option. Ross stands him up, and that's on those inside linebackers. They have to see, have good eye discipline, and know Bradshaw's keeping the ball inside and stay home and make the tackle.
So Army 6 of 7 on 3rd down, their 3rd in a row. On this side of the field, they need 2. Bradshaw keeps it. Ahmad Bradshaw's got it down to the 28-yard line. He is north of 200 yards. Kyle Floyd the tackle on his 16th carry of the game.
This has been the Ahmad Bradshaw show, and I said he was resolute in those meetings. He was confident.
Yeah.
You knew that he was going to come out and give you everything that he had, because this game, to those seniors who have not beaten Air Force, means so much.
First thing he said, we haven't beaten them. It's the first step in the CIC for Army. If Army were to win this game, it would set up a winner-take-all with Navy in December. Right here on CBS, on the broadcast side of our network on CBS Sports.
Ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll back up Monken's offensive group, and he's spitting a little fire.
Was on 74.
Austin Schubert, left tackle, has been splitting time with Rick Kurtz. Rick Kurtz a little banged up coming into this game. One of the things the bye week did for Army was allow them to get healthy. They didn't hit in pads one time over 2 weeks. A change for Jeff Monken. He wanted this team to be fresh, to come out and to be aggressive, and they've done that.
Both teams with 2 penalties. You would expect these 2 Academy teams to be disciplined. Here's Woolfolk on the toss. How about that? Gave the shot there to James Jones. Kind of slapped him down.
I think that's the first time I've seen that all year, where they've gone outside with the pitch to the fullback. An excellent job by Brent Davis coming up with some misdirection. They fake it to Kel Walker and then pitch it to Woolfolk.
It's like, get out of my way. He is alone, is Darnell Woolfolk. Leads the fullback coach, Mike Vitti. 11 for 33 for Woolfolk today. Bradshaw fakes to Walker. He slithers his way through there down in between the 21 and 22-yard line. Mentioned about setting up a winner-take-all. If Army wins, if Air Force wins, they could still get this Commander-in-Chief trophy, but only 35 days to go in the countdown to America's game, the Army-Navy game presented by USAA on CBS Sports.
#1 goal for Army, win the CIC. It's been a long time since they did that.
Air Force has won 20. 3rd and 4. Another 3rd down coming up here. It's been the story of this drive for Army.
2-down territory here, Ben.
Yes, 15th play of the drive. Bradshaw, Walker, great job by Air Force. That was Griffin leading the charge. Floyd came in to help out as well. That's a huge stop for Air Force's defense. But like you said, Jade,
I think they already knew that they were going to go for it here unless they got backed way up. They're on the 21-yard line. Be a 38-yard field goal. I don't think there was any doubt in the mind. They understood before they called that last play that they were going to go for it on 4th down here.
They are. Bradshaw breaks the huddle with him. Woolfolk will be the fullback behind him. Army 14 of 20 on 4th down. They need 4.
Expect Bradshaw to keep this ball.
Here he comes. Thought about it. No, he pitches. They didn't get it. Oh, what a job. Griffin made the play. He has had one whale of a game for these Air Force Falcons. A huge stop on 4th and 4. 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, Jay. And Griffin comes up huge.
Play of the game for Air Force. Needed a stop on 4th down. Griffin comes up and gets them exactly what they needed.
That is a beautiful picture. They have all kinds of flyovers here, Jay.
That's right. I love flyovers. Sounds of freedom.
Yes.
That's what I always think of.
It's a beautiful picture. Great to see. Huge drive here for Air Force. After stopping Army on 4th and 4, just 50 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Worthman under duress. Got away. Still on his feet. Ackerman took him down. But a great job by Arion Worthman to get something out of what looked like nothing.
He was trying to take a shot to Ronald Cleveland downfield. Cleveland was at the top of the screen, but too much pressure. Jay Bateman always says we solve our problems with aggression. Worthman did an excellent job of, like you said, making something out of nothing.
He picked up 6 on it. Out of the shotgun, fakes it, wants to run it. Trying to find a seam, not much there, but a good job, those shifty feet and that patience to get the 1st down by about 2.5. That might be the final play of a 3rd quarter that took about 15 minutes.
That was quick.
Don't go anywhere. Great finish shaping up when the 4th quarter begins.
The end of the 3rd quarter.
52nd installment between Army and Air Force. After 3, Army leads it by 2 scores. Our line score through 3 quarters of play. Army with a touchdown in each the 1st and 2nd quarters. They lead 14-0 as we welcome you up to our broadcast position. I got my sleeves rolled up, man. It's that kind of day, right?
It's 4th quarter, rival game. It's time to get after it. I'm taking the tie off. Let's go. Let's get after it.
I love it. The new look Jay Feely. Good to have you with us. Lauren Gardner's on the field. Bruce Clark is our producer. Warren Pick, our director. And all of our great crew in our truck, we appreciate all they do. My name is Ben Holden. 4th quarter is set to begin. And under Jeff Monken, very good numbers. Air Force trying to have something to say about that. Worthman, nobody open. Being chased now, fires, caught! caught near midfield. It's Cleveland. Gibson was right there to wrap him. You've been talking about him, Jay. He's the guy they got to go to downfield.
And I felt like they should have gone to him earlier. He had a nice catch in the first half. Ran a quick hitch. Got 19 yards. They were looking to take a shot downfield to Bennett. It wasn't there. A good job by Cleveland staying with his quarterback. Worthman finds him, and they get a nice pickup.
14-yard gain. Pitch and catch. 51 pass yards for Arion Worthman. Looking to throw again. Open man, wide open over the middle. That is Bennett with a catch. Nautical the tackle. First down, Air Force.
I like the changeup offensively.
Yeah.
You don't have even 100 yards rushing so far in this game. You average 353. You're going to see right at the top of the screen, come down here across the middle, just sit down in the middle, right in front of the safety. Good job by Worthman. Those plays are there to be made.
One of the things that separates Air Force from Army in terms of their offenses and the triple option attack. Nobody open again. Worthman, can he escape? He does for the time being, and he's dropped! Brinson got him. Kenneth Brinson. Nobody was open, and Brinson did the job.
Worthman running around trying to make plays, but Brinson says, no sir, I'm going to get my 3rd sack of the year.
Loss of 7 on the play. One more look. Kenneth Brinson. Oh, Most got him right there on the face mask. First sack of the game.
3 wide here for Air Force.
Worthman. Pressure. Got rid of it. Caught. It's Whiffett, the tight end. Gibson again made the tackle. Worthman gets slow to get up there.
He took a shot. He stood in the pocket, delivered a pass, took a shot, and he's hurting right now. But I like what they're doing now offensively. Pushing the ball, throwing the ball, having trouble running it. Watch Worthman here stand in the pocket and deliver this ball as he takes the shot. They stayed away from the pass in the first half because of the wind.
3rd and 6 for the Falcons. They go back to the ground. They're not going to get it. It was Nolan Erickson with the carry.
Got to go for it, Ben.
Yeah,
no question.
Yep.
4th quarter, Army has kept the ball so long throughout this game. You saw the 3rd quarter just disappear.
Yeah.
Even though Army didn't score, they got to stop on 4th down. Air Force did. Now they got a chance to convert on 4th down themselves.
4th and 3. Same end of the field where Army was stopped on 4th and 4. Falcons 1-on-1 on 4th down. Cleveland goes in motion. Worthman wants him. He's got it. Trying to get through, and he does! A first down for Ronald Cleveland. Continues to make big plays for Air Force.
Jay Bateman told his defense when Ronald Cleveland goes in motion, we have to know where he is. He's coming across. You know he's going to get the ball. They pitch it to him. You got to come up right there and make the tackle. Unable to do it. Cleveland did a good job being decisive and exploding and getting the first down.
To the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Worthman stands in, now dumps it off, and too high, looking for the tight end, Ryan Riffett. Next play coming up on this drive will be the 10th of it. Today's first down line is being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Back to the air here, 2nd and 10. What do you think?
That was a good job by Jay Bateman's defense. There was nowhere to go for Worthman with that ball. Overthrew his tight end. Had to do that. Could have been intercepted if he threw a good pass.
Here's Bateman watching his defense. 2nd and 10. Great job by Army. They were in the backfield before the ball was even handed off, it seemed like. Ackerman got in there. Taven Bordeaux was the ball carrier. 3rd down coming up.
Ackerman's 29th tackle for a loss in his career. Exploded down the line. Didn't allow that running game to develop at all, and they've been all over this running game.
Not that, the last 5 games, 41.1 a game. Today, Air Force with a goose egg to this point. It's 3rd and 12 will unfold in front of us. Worthman, Gibson's there! Worthman got away, got it to McVay! Tim McVay could not take it in, but he gets the first down. What an effort by Worthman to stand in there. There is a flag down on the play, though.
I think it's coming back.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
That was a late developing play. Worthman did such an awesome job of standing in the pocket, being strong. McVay wasn't the receiver he was looking to. Right down there, down at the bottom of your screen. Nobody's here. McVay's wide open. Worthman does a phenomenal job getting the ball. And then at the top of your screen, that's where the hold occurs.
So that makes it 3rd down and 3 now. The clock continues to move here in Colorado Springs. They need the 15 to convert. On the ground, trying to burrow his way through there. It's Taven Bordeaux. Beg your pardon, it was Tim McVay with a carry.
Another huge 4th down conversion coming up. Can Army get a stop? Can Air Force continue this drive? They're down 14-0. I want the ball in Aaron Worthman's hands.
Sure. 4th and a yard. And 2 for 2 in this department are the Falcons. Worthman, he faked the handoff. He's in trouble. He's in all kinds of trouble. Still on his feet, just heaves it downfield. And it's nearly caught by McVay. Nearly an answered prayer, but it's incomplete.
What an unbelievable effort by Aaron
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Trying to make a play,
1st down.
Unable to do so, and Army gets a huge stop on 4th down.
9:42 left. Army comes up big. They get it back, leading by 14.
South Carolina on CBS Sports right now.
Yep. That was our college football playoff poll powered by Ram Truck. So here we go. Army goes back to work. They go straight ahead. Power running right up the middle. So how about this, Jay? 10 drives combined between these two teams. Neither team has had a 3-and-out to this point.
And Air Force desperately needs one right now. They have to find a way. That was a good 1st down play by Army, bringing up 2nd and 4. Got to get a stop, get the ball back, because Army has done such a good job of just grinding these drives and taking up so much clock. If you allow them to get a 1st down or 2, you're down 2 scores. You may only have 3-4 minutes left when you get the ball back.
Time of possession, very close, down to 5 on the play clock. Bradshaw gonna keep it. Trying to strip it out of there and rip it out of there is Air Force. And leading the charge was Grant Ross, their leader on defense, one of their leaders, but the guy with the most experience when this season started on the defensive side of the ball. So Bradshaw able to pick up the 1st down there, out to the 27-yard line. 8:35 left in the game.
I mentioned it before, but only 3 fumbles this year for Army. Last year, 31 fumbles. The year before that, 2015, 38 fumbles. That's the biggest, most dramatic change for Army this year and why they're winning games.
Yeah, you're dead right. And Bradshaw to take a timeout.
1st charge timeout.
We'll take it with him. Great finish shaping up here at Air Force. We're back right after this. About 40,000 in attendance today for the 52nd installment of Army and Air Force. 1st and 10 after the Bradshaw run and the timeout. Banging his way ahead. For a pickup of about 5 yards there was their fullback, Darnell Woolfolk. Capper made the tackle.
Air Force has had 3 tackles for a loss today. That's only 29 given up by Army on the year. That's 3rd best in the country. Part of that's because they've only given up 1 sack, and the reason for that is because they don't throw the ball. They haven't thrown it today.
Not today, anyways.
But that's a priority for this offensive line, not allowing tackles for a loss. They've taken ownership of that fullback position. It's a veteran offensive line.
7.5 to play in the game. Again, Woolfolk, they get to him quickly. That front did a great job for the Air Force defense there. Outstanding job by them, led by Cody Gessler.
Big stop. Good first down run. Had to get a stop. Get third now and 3, and with 7 minutes left. This could be a play of the game right now. Air Force has to get this ball back. Down 2 scores, and Army chews up so much of that clock.
See what they do in the third down department. Army's been real good, 7 of 9. Air Force 30%, 3 of 10. 3rd and 2 for the Black Knights. They need the 37-yard line. Bradshaw faked the handoff. He still got it. And Bradshaw got out to the 40-yard line. What a fake. I think a handful of Air Force defenders thought Woolfolk had it.
How good has Ahmad Bradshaw been today? Over 200 yards rushing. An excellent fake, as you talked about, and then picking his way, physical running, getting the first down, moving the chains, keeping that clock going. Everybody thinks Woolfolk has it. And you see how Bradshaw comes out and then puts his foot in the ground, gets up into that next level, getting the first down. He's definitive. That's the biggest difference when I watch him. Not only the turnovers, but being definitive in his decision-making.
219 rushing yards for Ahmad Bradshaw, career high. Here is Andy Davidson. He came into the game in the first half, took a penalty. I believe his first carry of the game here. So Calhoun using a timeout. Troy Calhoun, the Air Force coach, down to 2. Each team with 2 left. 6:10 left. Jeff Monken's guys still up, 14-0. Let's take a look now at our Chick-fil-A game summary. Jay, what's grabbing your eyes?
Both these schools, 2-3 in the country in rushing, averaging over 350 yards a game. Air Force only 99 yards rushing. Jay Bateman's defense has shut down that rushing attack. And Ahmad Bradshaw putting this team on his shoulders after he had a little upset stomach at the beginning of the game, channeling his inner Willie Beeman.
He lost his breakfast. So how about this? The longest active scoring streaks in the FBS. For Air Force, it is in serious jeopardy right now. And last time that happened, Fajeldum with a tackle. His presence lately has been a help on the back end for Air Force. So 3rd down coming up here, Jay. They need about 4, it looks. Yes. Today's first down line is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union.
A must stop for Air Force. They used a timeout already. Have to get a stop here. Can't allow Army to get a first down and chew up more of their clock.
They need to get to the 50-yard line. Bradshaw's got it. He got it. First down. 20th carry of the game for Ahmad Bradshaw as Kalen Holt gives his teammate a hand up. And the Army faithful here at Air Force Academy loving that.
They've not had much to cheer for lately in this series. Air Force won 18 of the last 20 games. Jeff Monken and his staff have not beaten Air Force. Nobody on that Army team on that sideline has beaten Air Force.
So the Falcons, inside of 5 minutes to go, have used 1 timeout.
And they got to keep doing it. They got to call them now if they get stops.
Bradshaw gives off. Woolfolk wrapped up and dropped. Shaq Vereen leading the charge in there, number 6. Bradshaw with 21 carries now, and a timeout taken by Troy Calhoun. We'll take it with him. 14-0 Army, still with a lead. Kansas, a lot of familiar faces in that top 10. USC and Wichita State in there too.
The Shockers.
The Shockers.
I'm a Michigan guy. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
But I love Tom Izzo. One of my favorite coaches, one of my favorite people. Tremendous amount of respect for him.
Yep, he's a good man. 2nd and 8, 4:41 to go. Falcons showing blitz. Bradshaw continues. Floyd greets him. Jones is there as well. Ahmad Bradshaw, what a day. 4:25 and counting. Air Force has 1 timeout remaining. It's 3rd down and 3 upcoming here, Jay.
They know they have to get a stop here, and they know they have to call the timeout here. If Army can convert this to a 1st down, then it's going to be dependent on getting a turnover or something to get you back in this game.
Yes.
But Ahmad Bradshaw has had an unbelievable game here. Coming in, you got to bring the house here. You know they're running the ball. Don't worry about the receiver at the top of the screen. Bring it all 11.
Here's Bradshaw again. He slithers through there and gets the 1st down. Ahmad Bradshaw, he found a way to slither his way through there. They moved the chains. It's a 1st down for Army with 3:45 left. And there's an injured Air Force player down after that run by Bradshaw. We're going to step aside, take a timeout. Big conversion for Army late in this one here in Colorado Springs.
Timeout. Air Force. 3rd and final timeout. Timeout on the field.
So Troy Calhoun takes his final timeout out of a TV timeout.
Very strange time to take that timeout.
We're taking another one with him. 3:39 to go, the finish when we come back. Late stages of this game, Air Force out of timeouts. Army with the ball leading 14-0. Jay, let's revisit your extra points. How'd they pan out?
Pretty good job not allowing them to throw the ball. The last drive for Air Force, they finally found some room to throw it. Ground and pound. Army hasn't attempted a pass. Shocker.
Yes,
Stop
shocker.
the tank. I think Air Force did a good job of that, but it was the Ahmad Bradshaw show. You know, he has just been so good. 237 yards rushing. The rest of the team only 122 yards rushing. And the 2 fumbles, we talked about that. Couldn't have them, couldn't afford them, and they were big fumbles at critical moments.
So it's 1st and 10. Air Force is out of timeouts. Ball at the 34-yard line as Bradshaw takes it out of the gun, fakes to Kel Walker. Why not let him run it? Bradshaw inside of the 20, taken down just shy of the 5-yard line. Was dropped by Santo Coppola. Army's got a 1st and goal coming up.
All day long, it's been the Ahmad Bradshaw show. You and I saw his first game of his career against Fordham. He's come so far, understands his triple option, knows when to make the right decisions, who to get the ball to, and today it was all on him. He's put it on his shoulders. He told us that in our meetings, that he was ready to embrace this moment. Jeff Monken said, we're desperate for a win in this series.
Yes, indeed. Here they go, trying to get into the end zone again. It's Woolfolk. They'll give him progress. So a short pickup there. Grant Ross leading the charge. So in this series all time, Air Force has shut out Army 3 times. Army has never shut out Air Force.
Never.
And Air Force with a 306-game streak of scoring a point. That is in jeopardy. The last time that happened, they didn't score, the 92 Liberty Bowl. The quarterback that game was Jarvis Baker. He is now a colonel and vice AD here at the academy.
I'm sure the colonel really appreciates you pointing that out.
Don't kill the messenger, I'm just reporting the facts. Here goes Army. Bradshaw, pitch, Walker! Oh, he looked like he was at he is! Kel Walker to the right side. And Kel Walker finds the end zone for the 2nd time here today. Army's up by 20.
Bradshaw coming down the line, getting it to his running back. Does he break the plane? There he goes, right there. He reached over and broke it. Excellent job.
Great camera work, too.
Yeah, good stuff, boys.
We look from the back angle. That side angle looked good. Potter, the hold. Wilson knocks it through. It's 21-0 Army with 1:58 to go. What an effort by Bradshaw, by Walker, by the offensive group for Army. And how about the defense, Jay Feely? Not a point allowed yet.
Jay Bateman's got to be so pleased with that defense. Every man on this team executing to perfection for Army. I can't do it justice how important this game was to this staff, to these players, to those seniors on that team. We talked about in the Open, the one thing that Jeff Monken and his staff hadn't done. They beat Navy last year. They got to a bowl game. They won a bowl game, but they hadn't beat Air Force. The #1 goal on their 2017 goals, win the CIC. They had to beat Air Force to put themselves in position. And they're going to do that. And Jeff Monken and his staff, hats off to them, because they came out here to a very difficult place to play. Air Force very good at home, 19-2 over the past 4 years, and they have put it on them.
Schrag puts the right foot into it. And another one that goes into the end zone. And last time Army won here was back in 2005. We got flags and bodies bunched up on the field, but Black Knights were led by the rushing duo of Carlton Jones, 146, Scott Wesley, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Army won 27-24. It was the last win here in this rivalry, and it really hasn't been much of a rivalry lately. That's about to change.
No, it hasn't, not at all. Troy Calhoun, 9-1.
And the receiving team, number 18 and 37. This is their first unsportsmanlike foul. First down.
So that all happened. It took place as we were in the videotape there, looking back on the kickoff after the ball went into the end zone.
Just frustration by this Air Force team.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're used to winning. They're used to coming out in this game and having their way. It's going to be Jeff Monken's first win as head coach for Army over Air Force. Brent Davis, his first win as OC. Jay Bateman, his first win as the defensive coordinator.
So now for Air Force, you're trying to get into the end zone to avoid being shut out at home. Last time that happened, November 1 of '80 against Boston College. That pass intended for Sanders, broken up. There's a couple of seniors, Bradshaw and John Trainer in the CIC. 20 wins for Air Force. Army hasn't won it 21 years.
1996 since they won that. If they go to Navy at the end of the year, that'll be on CBS and beat them. Army will have won the CIC for the first time since 1996.
Long time that game, that Army-Navy game, has been a winner-take-all for the CIC. Here is Air Force. Romine's in the game. Nate Romine is in, takes it across the 30-yard line to the 32.
2015, Jeff Monken and his staff, they go 2-10 at Army. You and I did a lot of those games. They were in a lot of games, couldn't finish. The progression for this program, 8-5 last year, win a bowl game. Now 7-2. Jeff Monken and his staff have done a phenomenal job at a very difficult place to win.
Here's Romine under pressure, got him! Nautigal took him down. 4th down coming up. The young man, James Nautigal. They call him Hammer Sticks, and he just hammer sticked that one.
Watch Nautigal coming from the top of your screen. He's so fast, excellent speed at that linebacker position. Got 9 tackles on the day, got the sack there. 72 tackles now on the year, leading the team. If you ask me who's the defensive MVP this year, it's James Nautigal.
And there was a lot of question in that area. Losing King and Timpf.
Absolutely.
Who were two of the best linebackers that have ever played at the academy along the banks of the Hudson. 4th down, they bring Scott on to punt. And Army is half a minute away. 33 seconds to be exact from winning this game and doing it in shutout fashion on the road against a team that had not been shut out since the 1992 Liberty Bowl. 306 consecutive games. And barring some kind of fluky finish, there's Jeff Monken with his dad. Gave him a kiss on the cheek. Great to see a coaching family. They're from the state of Illinois, the Monken family. And this is going to be awful, awful sweet. Army Jay Bateman's defense pitches a shutout. Army wins it 21-0. The monkey is off the back of Jeff Monken against Air Force as they come in here and shut out the Falcons. And they'll win the ball game 21-0. Their first win here since '05. Their first win in the series since 2012. This game is a final.
Army got a couple of votes in the top 25 this week. Figure to get some more after coming in here to Colorado Springs and pitching a shutout, getting a huge win against their rival, going to 7-2. Go back and face Duke next week at Michie Stadium. And this team is rolling.
They are a Duke team that's 4-5, a bye week for them. They started 4-0, but so now for Army. That game against Navy is if it needs to be any bigger. It'll be a winner-take-all for the CIC.
Man, I want to be there and see that game. I haven't seen one yet.
I haven't either. Still on my bucket list to call one.
You and me both.
That's right.
Someday, partner.
That's right, someday. We will have both alma maters for you. Jeff Monken getting his guys over. They'll join Air Force. As Air Force will sing first, Not What You Want, in a Service Academy rival game. But that's the case. Here is the Air Force alma mater. So the Air Force alma mater there. Army, you always want to sing second in these Service Academy rival games. That means you won the game. Jeff Monken with his fist in the air down to the Army section. And a sweet feeling, Jay, as you've talked about. You said it so well at the outset of the game. Everything was set up for Army, and they came out and did the job today.
4 years of build-up for this staff, for this moment right here.
The Army West Point alma mater. You could just sense the anticipation of those words, because now that's all that's left for Army in terms of the CIC is beating Navy in early December. They'll have their chance to do it for a second straight year. They finally got the monkey off their back against Air Force, and they do it today 21-0.
Spectacular job by Jay Bateman and his defensive staff, shutting down that Air Force rushing attack that was third in the country coming into the game. Could not run the ball at all. Had to resort to trying to throw the ball. And Ahmad Bradshaw, just spectacular. If I've ever seen a guy just put a team on his back and will his team to win, that's what Ahmad Bradshaw did here today.
He certainly did, Jay. 23 carries for a career-high 265 yards. What a performance by that young man who was all smiles, lost his breakfast.
And he threw up at the beginning of the
lost
game.
his breakfast in the first quarter, and he comes back and puts on one of the best performances in Army football history for a quarterback.
Willie Beeman, any given Sunday, that's what he did in the movie.
He was just trying to capture the spirit of that thing.
Right.
Let's go down to Lauren Gardner, who's with that young man, their captain on offense, Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yeah, guys, we're definitely delaying him from celebrating a little bit there. The first win here at Army against Air Force. Just for you, talk about the emotions of this win.
Oh, man, it feels great. You know, I mean, I can't describe how good I feel right now. We've been losing ever since we came out here, and we prepared a lot for this game, and it feels good to be victorious.
Okay, you just mentioned how good you feel, but it didn't look like you were feeling very good there at the start of the game. What happened out there?
I don't know. I don't know. Something's wrong with my stomach, and I just had to throw up. It came out on the field, and I ran off and talked to coach, and they set me down for a play, but I was feeling better after.
We'll chalk that one up to butterflies and, you know, just a little bit of altitude there as well. But you went off to have a tremendous game. You scored the touchdown on that first drive. What was working so well for you out there?
Oh, the Air Force defense is really good, first and foremost, but our O-line had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and they knew how they were going to play us, and the O-line just opened up holes. All I did was run the ball. The running backs, Kalen Holt, Kale Walker, they did really good blocking inside, and I was able to find a hole.
Dominated time of possession as well. How were you guys so effective at controlling the clock?
First and foremost, just protecting the ball. It's hard to beat us when we protect the ball, and we knew that coming into this game that we was going to have to do that. So if we can protect the ball and keep moving it and stay on schedule, we'll be good.
You now control your own destiny with respect to the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. How do you approach that game against Navy?
We approach it the same way, you know, as any game. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So we're going to prepare for that game just like every other game.
Appreciate your time, Ahmad, and congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Guys?
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks to Ahmad Bradshaw. And what a day. 23 for 265 yards, a career high for the young man out of Chicago. His mom got him involved in football in 4th grade to keep him out of trouble.
He wanted to quit.
He wanted to quit.
She sent him back out there, said, no, sir, you're not quitting.
That's right, and it's a good thing. Back to Lauren with Jeff Monken.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Just saw you exchange a few words there with Ahmad Bradshaw. What did you say there?
Oh, I'm proud of him, and I love him. He just played a great football game. As you saw in the first quarter, he was throwing up. He really wasn't feeling very well. I think he's got a stomach bug, but he just powered through. And man, what an unbelievable individual performance by him.
For you, the first win over Air Force as a head coach here at Army, how satisfying is this win?
We needed to get it, and they've beaten us several years in a row here, and they've been really good battles, and we just hadn't been good enough and hadn't gotten it done, and you know, this time we were good enough, and I'm really proud of our team. They played their hearts out.
You talk about what Ahmad did in their offense, but defensively, Jay Bateman and his defense, what did they do so well to post the first shutout in series history?
What Jay did and what Brent Davis did on offense, those guys just unbelievable plan, and they kept it simple, taught our kids the plan and got them prepared, and our guys really just executed, and they're both great coaches, but the players really executed it well.
We saw you kiss your dad there on the sidelines. Just take us through the last couple minutes of this game.
Well, my dad was my high school coach, and he's on the sideline for almost every game, and he's my role model, my mentor. I love my dad, and I just love having him here to be able to be a part of this. It makes me really proud, and I'm proud to be his son, and I hope I'm making him proud. I think I am. My mom's here. I'm looking for her, and they're dear to me, and it was special to celebrate those big wins with my dad and with my family.
Based on the look on his face, I think he was very proud. Congratulations, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Amelia. I hope you had a fun, happy birthday party. I love you.
That's his daughter. She turned 10. So what a day for Jeff Monken and Army here.
He was understated there.
Yes.
That's probably the most emotional win for Jeff Monken in his career. Even though they beat Navy last year, he wanted this win badly.
No question. Jay, it was fun for Jay, Lauren, all of our great crew. My name is Ben Holden, our producer, Bruce Clark, our director, Warren Pick, all the fine folks in our truck. We appreciate all the hard work they put in and the efforts they put in for our game to be possible here today. Once again, our final score, the Black Knights of Army, now 7-2, 21, Air Force, nothing. For Jay, Lauren, all of our crew, my name is Ben Holden. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. What a day filled of emotion. captured by Army. We now send you to our New York City studio for Inside College Football with Brent Stover and the gang. We say so long from Air Force.